I am here today with none other than author of What Makes a Great Coach, Emma Doyle. Emma, welcome. I'm so excited that you're here. I had the honor and the privilege of meeting you a few weekends ago at the Center Her Court conference for tennis coaches, tennis players. The irony around this is I don't play tennis. I want to play tennis after attending this, but I really realized that it was just about creating an area, a space for females and leaders within our industry, coaches. And I just walked away feeling so inspired and had to have you on the show. So welcome. Can you tell our listeners and our viewers a little bit about yourself?
Thank you so much, Jen, for having me. I'm super excited to be here. And I do love the mission of Sportswomen of Colorado around promoting and honoring and empowering girls and connecting women in sports. So thank you so much for being here. Very brief background is that I played a lot of sports growing up, probably the master of none of them really. And it wasn't until I sort of started coaching at 14 years of age and I knew I wanted to be a coach immediately. And that's still what I do today. I'm a coach at heart. And my career has taken many different left-hand turns, right-hand turns along the way, but very fortunate to transfer and use tennis as the vehicle to spread my passion and my joy for coaching not only people on the tennis court, but off the tennis court these days. But thank you so much, Jen, for having me.
Yes. The first thing that I want our listeners to know is you're obviously not from the United States. And in your book, you tell the story about a specific coach and a tennis academy that you were dying to coach at. You just had to coach. You woke up, you called 4 times a week at 4 a.m. from Australia every single day to this place in Florida. Nobody answered, nobody returned your call. And what did you decide to do? You got on an airplane and you took how many flights? Like 4 flights, maybe? I can't recall. I'll let you tell the story. And you showed up and you said, I'm here. I'm ready to coach. I want to be coached by the best coaches and I want to learn from the best coaches. Share a little bit of that story. It's just kind of wild.
Yeah, it's a wild story in that if I had to summarize, the only way I know how to be successful in my entire life is to take action. So if somebody doesn't offer you a job or you're sitting on the couch waiting for that golden opportunity, get off the couch. That's lesson number one. You have to take action in life, and no one was returning my calls. I mean, why would they? Who am I, right? So it was one of those things that I rocked up on the doorstep and I said, I'm that annoying person who's been calling. It wasn't just one academy. I spread my wings, and then the beauty of that was that I said, if you can give me free food and accommodation for 1 week, I'll coach for free. And if at the end of the week, if you think I'm no good, please get rid of me. And at the end of visiting 4 different academies, I had 4 different job offers, which is a pretty cool thing. And one of the most important lessons I want to share is that the reason I did that is I wanted to learn the look. I wanted to stand behind the best coaches in the world. And at that time, in the late 90s, Florida was the mecca of producing tennis players. So I wanted to stand on the court with the best of the best and say to myself, why did they say that? Why did they see that? Why are they going there? And I learned so many things about what great coaching looks like, and also what, some pretty awful coaching looks like as well. And I think that's the thing that I'd love to share with your listeners is just how can they add one thing onto their coaching toolkit? Because especially we're passionate about women, confidence equals time plus experience. You can't short circuit time, but you can short circuit the experience of others. You know that very well in your sporting background as well, Jen. What are your thoughts there?
Totally. You were tenacious about this. And when I met you 3 weekends ago, you said, if you call somebody and they don't answer, you call them again. And then you call them again. This is prior to me reading your book. If they don't answer, then you show up. And then when I read your book, I was like, oh, she really did that. And she's done that a lot. So that's inspired me to really take action. And the one thing that you shared, that you were literally curled up in a blanket on the couch watching the US Open. You spoke about seeds of doubt, though. And I do think, particularly for girls, for women, there are these seeds of doubt. When you mentioned that in your book, it might have been after you were driving a rental car. You're on the wrong side of the road because it's different in the United States than it is in Australia. You turn, a semi like lays on the horn. You drive over the cement like divider, and it was in that moment that you put your hands on the steering wheel. There was the seeds of doubt where you broke down crying and you were like, what have I done? I think we all encounter that. And I think particularly young girls, and we'll touch more on that when we get into your camps and how to run a girl power camp and what that looks like. But how did you quiet that voice when you were younger? Like, what were you telling yourself in that moment? For me, it's like, fake it till you make it.
You know, I think I have a theory, you know, never down for more than 10 minutes, right? But back in the day, it was probably never down for more than an hour or even half a day, depending on what's going on. Like before every moment of success in my life, there's been a monumental failure. So even with my TEDx talk, I didn't get into the first one I applied to, right? So I feel like, first of all, we don't push away the negative thoughts because they'll be with us throughout our entire life, right? So one of the things that actually I just ran a keynote for middle schoolers here in Brighton, in Colorado this week. And the biggest message was just to catch the thought, accept the thought, and then choose to just be courageous or to just be in the moment or to just be sad, feel the failure, and then say, right, most people quit on the 9th no, but when I get my 10th no, normally my 11th one is a yes. Right? So this is the thing about failure and negative thoughts and self-doubt. It's not going anywhere, people. It is still there. I still have imposter syndrome. I still experience this. And the whole catch, accept, and choose, such a simple philosophy. And then throw the word just in front of anything. It's the whole just do it, the Nike tagline. Mel Robbins talks about the word just allows the fear, allows the anxiety, allows everything to say, you know what, rather than do it, yes, take action is important. But if you throw just in front of it, it allows you to have a go. It allows you to say, I'm going to step up. If this is something I really want, what's it going to take for me to get there?
Yeah, just pivot. Just sit with it for a moment. Just let it be.
Just be
curious. I'm such an action-oriented person. I've had to learn how to let things lie, which is the let them theory as well. And I think sports is an invaluable tool in teaching us all of those skills. However, I don't think things always translate directly, particularly when middle school girls, young girls' brains are developing. So specifically, you know, you and I talked briefly about why 80% of girls drop out of sport at the middle school age. I'm living that as a middle school coach, as a mom of a 13-year-old daughter, just seeing these girls drop like flies. And you also touch on some of these things around belief and inner voice and what coaches can do. You've had experts on your podcast around bullying and the scars that leaves behind from a neuroscientific standpoint. Why do you think so many girls leave sports right when confidence and identity are forming?
Yeah, I think that the way that we have traditionally coached sports has been perfect for young boys. And one of the best lines that has stuck with me from a mentor is that boys need to perform well to feel like they belong. Girls need to feel like they belong to perform well. So I feel like the product, especially when it hit me around 2016, that we were delivering, especially in my chosen sport of tennis, was really not conducive to task-based improvement activities. The engagement piece was missing. Girls don't really care what you know until they know that you care. It was too much of this yell and tell and push and too much emphasis on winning, competitiveness, because girls aren't less competitive. It's just the product in which they like to compete that needed to be flipped on its head, to be quite honest.
It looks different. It looks different.
Yeah,
when you met Serena Williams and she found out you were from Australia, she did not want to talk tennis. What did she want to talk to you about?
Shopping down Chapel Street and Melbourne coffee and her favorite little spots and how much she just loved the Australian culture. So it didn't matter what I wanted to ask her all these questions about why she was working on this on the court. The minute she was off court, it was a great early lesson in it didn't matter what I needed to hear in that moment. It was all about how do I build rapport and a relationship and trust. So even with the girl power camps, we start off court with the girls going through tennis magazines, empowerment magazines, and cutting out words and images that they can relate to, or things they want to add to their own confidence tool belt. And then they get to stand up in front of the group and share, or even with a partner if they don't want to share in front of the group, right? So we start off court. Even that in itself is a minor little shift of how we need to, again, rethink the way that we are doing things and not just accept the status quo. Let's not accept that dropout rate is a real thing. Don't just say, oh, that's interesting. Do something about it. And
just do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
So with your girls empowerment camps, what are the ages that you target, Emma?
Well, I have done, of course, you know what I'm like.
Yeah.
So, red ball, orange ball, green. I mean, I've done the whole gamut, right? They were originally designed, of course, for, the teenage, like 13 to 16 sort of age bracket. So that was how they originally were designed. And even, I have to say, the coolest thing about it is if you have an idea, everyone, and anyone listening to this, just pilot it. I piloted the idea in the top of Australia. And then it was literally, I am wearing my Scottish vest that Judy gave to me, because she was like, I thanked her for creating those Misfits characters, because the girls, they made them more modern, like these dancers. And Judy's like, this is grand, I haven't learned anything in a long time. Can you be in Scotland in 2 weeks and show me? It's so cool, right?
Now I like that you just flipped to that Scottish accent.
That was pretty terrible. Apologies.
I loved it. I picked up on it.
But the point is that so much of her philosophy, let the activity do the teaching for you, skills before drills, all these types of things, right? Are so important that the three concepts around the Girl Power Camp were engage, develop, and empower, right? So first we have to engage them, right? Get that trust, build that trust. We have to develop them, because girls do want to improve, and they love having a task and a focus and a goal to achieve.
Yes.
So you can dress up competition in so many different ways. And then the empowerment piece is all the team-based games. So even though tennis you might think is an individual sport, throw it in a team style activity and they'll run over hot coals for each other, because they're playing for something beyond themselves.
Yes.
So and again, these are subtle gender differences. And I've done it with younger kids. I've done it with teenagers. And now, I'm really proud to have been able to house it online so that other coaches, I'm all about one to many. How can I spread a message one to many in everything that I do?
Right. And I love the engage, develop, empower. That translates over into leadership style in the workplace. That leads into other sports. We just had a camp with an elementary school, 3rd grade through 5th grade, with the MSU-Denver women's basketball team. And those girls did a great job. And it was empowering the students. It was developing, basic skills and empowering the kids to have fun. And we saw it firsthand. What's the emotional cost, Emma, do you think, when we lose girls from sport at this very early age?
Well, it's significant, because all the things that, again, sport teaches us: grit, resiliency, determination, discipline, failure, especially, in tennis, literally 1 year that Federer and Serena both finished world number one, they won something like 85% of all their matches, but they lost 45% of all their points. So you're coming second in every other rally almost. You think about that. And so sport has life lessons, and
Totally.
a great coach, of course, can just instill so many wonderful attributes within our girls to believe in themselves, and not just say, I believe in you, but things like, I know you can do it. That's a subtle gender difference right there. Not just I believe in you, but I know you can do this. There's a difference there with girls. And if they drop out of sport, we are losing that opportunity for them to develop those important life skills, that connection with somebody beyond their parents, role models, representation. It is why I, for a long time, continued to speak in tennis, because of representation. I'm like, I can't stop just yet, because there's not enough we need more of the people to come through to be able to stand in front of other girls and show that, hey, that you could become a coach, you could become an umpire, this sport has so many avenues to be able to empower girls and empower their self-esteem, right? So a big part of the Girl Power Camp is actually teaching the coaches how to communicate in a way that is what we call future-based. So if you ask a girl, why did you make that mistake? She'll give you a long list of exactly what happened.
Right.
Okay?
And they have
what went wrong in this moment. Okay.
It's in like every exact detail, and get stuck on that and cannot move forward. Mm-hmm.
Correct. And if you simply say, hey, next time, what could you do differently? See, that's a future-based question.
I also like that you did not tell her what to do next time.
Correct. This is a huge problem. Beg your pardon. This is a huge opportunity for any coaches, any parents listening out there. If the coach who's coaching your child is continuously telling them and focusing on the past, that's not going to strengthen her inner voice. Mm-hmm. And if it doesn't strengthen her inner voice, when she is out in the world on her own, which will happen, we all come to that moment where I'm all alone in the world, what is she going to say to herself? First of all, she's like, I'm so used to people just telling me what to do. I don't know what to do. And if she's been coached on what went wrong there, why did you miss? Tell me the mistakes that you made. Then she's going to be so focused on that she's going to feel not good enough and not have the power to step into her greatness. So these are subtle language hacks that are so easy, because if you throw next time in front of anything, it'll reframe everything.
So we're going to use the word just do it.
Mm-hmm.
The other subtlety is next time. And instead of telling her or him, because I have a son too, instead of telling her or him what to do, we're going to ask next time, what could you try differently, or what could you do differently? I love this. So both of these things are also showing empathy and listening, which are two things that you talk about in your book. I know for a fact that in order to be a great leader, in order to be a great coach, you have to have empathy. I get really excited. I call myself a golden retriever. Energy, empathy, enjoyment.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. I can sometimes be overly excited and overly passionate and interrupt. And it's not that I am not wanting to listen. It's that I get super excited. However, I do know my own children, who I also coach. I'm guilty of not being the best listener always. Any piece of advice for coaches out there, when girls or their players are comparing themselves to others, or they're really struggling, especially that 13-year-old freshman in high school, freshman in college, when they've moved away from home for the first time, their brains are going through this tremendous amount of change. And there needs to be a little TLC, and that's not weakness. That is strength and vulnerability, I believe. Thoughts?
Couldn't agree more. And one of the things that my partner helps student athletes find US college scholarships, and also does a mentoring arm of that. A huge piece of the mentoring arm that I've also had the greatest honor to impact these teenagers and their inner voice is to, coming back to, remember, catch, accept, and choose, right? So, for example,
here it comes. I love it.
Comes. Ready?
Here it comes. We're ready.
Look at this. So catch your inner voice or your negative voice. So this is Gina, and draw it. This is Gina, right? And this negative voice, we have on the back what Gina says. Things like, that's not good enough. You messed up again. Everyone's watching you. What are you doing? So the feelings are scared, worried, tense, because it might not be perfect. But guess what Gina really wants? Gina cares.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, catch that negative voice, right? If you need to draw it, even thank you, Gina. I know that you just care. I know you're being super tough on me.
Gina, go away.
I accept that, right? So this is Gina, okay? All right, I'm serious. Like, this is the Hollow Knight. Look at that one. Yeah?
Yeah.
And the Hollow Knight just wants to be accepted. So that was from a teenage boy, that one. What about this one? How cool is this? This is the Joy Stealer.
Oh.
Right? How will you ever achieve if you can't even insert? And it just wants you to belong and feel, again, approval, craving approval. This is Kimmy. Yeah, look at Kimmy, right? And Pilbert, look at Pilbert.
So your kids drew these, the kids that you work with. Oh.
So this is an example, right, of many tools that teenagers need. And this is the thing, you can't just say, just think positive, or you can't just say, just flip your negative thoughts into positive thoughts. That there are tools and processes and ways that we can help support and empower our teenagers, because for them, their whole world feels like it's caving in on them.
Yes.
Especially in a post-COVID environment. And we need to help them with tools and skills for them to step into their greatness when life happens.
And a lot of times they show up to practice and life has been lifing and life has been happening. And we have these articulate plans laid out for practice, detail oriented. And I know, especially post-COVID, where sometimes I just had to scratch it.
Yeah.
And I know that sometimes coaches don't want to do that, but it is necessity.
Yeah,
it's necessary.
Just grab the fortune cookie ball and just say, I can see, that things that you're struggling a bit today. So just, you pick one. Which one you want? The top, bottom,
go top one and read it for me.
Okay, let's go to the top one. So what did you get? You got the fear of losing is twice as powerful as the hope of winning.
That's so true, because your negative thought would be, I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose. We have to, versus just do my best. Let's go win this game.
And also then as soon as you've said it, make no mistake about it. I've only ever met 3 girls where I said, you have to step up and win for Australia today. I've had the honor of wearing the green and gold 20 times, and really important that once we know, of course we want to win, right? Of course. But
right.
You give it no energy, you give it no momentum, because the minute you do, you things are not going to go well. It has to be about process, routine, performance, all those things you have to focus on, and you have to let winning take care of itself. That's in all my years of sport. Like I said, there's only been 3 girls over 30 years, by the way. So that's 1 every 10 years. I said, you have to win for Australia today. And she could actually do that.
Wow, that's wild. And I also do think that you have to practice those mindset techniques, because your brain is a muscle. You have to practice it just as much as you would practice pitching a softball, taking a handoff from a baton in a track meet, or serving a tennis ball. You have to practice that, do that mindset work. Emma, real quick, just for fun, because, you're not a Colorado native here. I want you to finish this sentence for me. A great coach in any country always
listens.
Okay. Who's tougher, Australian tennis players or Colorado mountain runners?
Or Colorado mountain runners.
Your favorite Aussie athlete growing up?
𝘞𝘩𝘢𝘬𝘦𝘴.
Who is that?
You'll have to Google her, but she was just an inspiration. I used to just hit against the wall, pretending I was
tennis
Yvonne.
player though.
Yep.
Yeah. Marty just put in the comments, stud, by the way. He'll tweet that out. Favorite slang word from Australia that Americans never understand?
Crikey, fair dinkum, mate.
Yep, didn't I? Do you say that routinely here?
No.
Okay. What is one thing Aussies do better in sport culture than Americans?
Team support.
More supportive.
Yep.
What is one thing that Americans nail? And it doesn't have to be positive. It could be negative.
Well, you know why I moved to America? Come on, let's be honest.
Scholarship.
Dream big. Right? Why did I keep coming back here? And why do now I live between Melbourne, Australia and Denver, Colorado? Because of the land of, I still believe it's a land of opportunity here. And that's what I love about the US.
I actually agree with that. Whenever I've traveled outside of the United States, to other countries, some third world countries, some communist countries, I'm always so thankful to step foot back on American soil and I have a deeper appreciation for things that I might have taken for granted. Mm-hmm. And by the way, sports allowed me to travel a lot of those. Another opportunity that is because only of sports. Yeah. Vegemite toast or peanut butter and jelly?
Oh, absolute. Not even a question. Vegemite. All day, every day on anything. I love it.
Emma, if our viewers would like to get in touch with you, how can they find you?
You can find me at 𝘎𝘳𝘦𝘢𝘵.
Okay. And here's the deal. She told me if you reach out to her once, twice, 3 times, just go find her, because that's how you track a person down. So if you're an Olympic athlete as well, you might get 3 phone calls from me, but then I also found out it's more like 10 sometimes. But you do public speaking, you do workshops for businesses, leadership, coaching. You're here 6 months out of the year in Denver, Colorado. So 8 months. Okay. 8 months out of the year. Anyone could find you and utilize your resources. I can promise you, she is the Ted Lasso, the female version of a Ted Lasso with a tennis racket. You just have such great energy, such great, positivity. I could just soak up your energy all day, every day. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And right back at you. I love the work that you're doing in promoting and connecting girls and women with sport. Such an important topic. And I just invite all your listeners to choose one word. Just be what? What is it that you want? Not only maybe while listening to this podcast, but for the rest of the year. And every year, I tell you one thing I do. I continuously form and transform myself every year, because honestly, I'm just an ordinary girl who grew up, I was an okay tennis player, but I'm living an extraordinary life because of being a coach. And you don't need to have a major disaster in your life to have an epiphany. Just continuously form and transform yourself year in, year out. And for me, I'm focusing right now on just being super curious. What about you?
Yeah, I love that. And just believing in yourself that you can do it. And when you're genuine and you are authentic and empathetic and you listen, people trust you. So thanks so much.
Should we finish with the balls in your court to take action?
Yeah, just take it. Thank you, Emma.